Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
You can set the formatting of selected chart items by first selecting the individual item within the chart area that has the appearance that you wish to change. You can then choose Chart, roll down to Chart Options, and then choose Selected Item from the side menu which appears. Your other option is to simply right-click on the specific chart element and then choose Chart Options, Selected Item from the pop-up menu which appears. In the Formatting dialog box which then appears, there are three tabs which you can use to change the appearance of the selected item: Font, Line, and Fill. And note that some of these tabs may appear unavailable for use depending on what type of object was selected. So for example, if there was no text associated with the selected chart object, then the Font tab appears unavailable. On the Font tab, you can pick a color from the colors displayed in the color cubes. If you wish to create a custom color, you may actually right-click on one of the gray color cubes displayed towards the bottom of this tab to launch the Color dialog box, where you can create and set a custom style. Then use the drop-down boxes to the right of the color cubes to set the font, size, style, alignment, box, and rotation if optional, if able to be selected, for the selected text. And the options that you can set will be viewed in the preview window up above. Now on the Line tab, you can set the color of the line or border of the selected chart item using the color cubes available on this tab. Notice you could also choose the transparent option to remove the line. You can also then use the Style and Thickness drop-downs to select the desired line style's thickness and style for the border of the object. On the Fill tab, you can set the fill or interior color of the selected chart object, and you can apply a simple color choice using one of the color cubes available. However, if you'd like a more sophisticated appearance, you can make use of the Pattern, Gradient, Texture, and Picture tabs to apply a more interesting fill effect than just a simple color choice. To apply a pattern as the fill effect used for the selected chart object, click the Pattern button on the Fill tab. This will then launch the Choose a Pattern dialog box, and in this dialog box, select a pattern that you want to use as the fill pattern from the choices listed at the left side of the dialog box. You can then set the foreground and background colors by clicking the Paint Can button next to each label, and then selecting the desired choice from the drop-down menu of color cubes. The pattern you've selected will be displayed in the preview square, and when you have the desired pattern set, just click OK to return to the Fill tab in the Formatting dialog box. You can also apply a gradient as the fill effect of the selected chart item by clicking the Gradient button in the Fill tab of the Formatting dialog box. This will launch the Choose a Gradient to Apply to the Selected Areas dialog box, and here you can simply click on the type of gradient that you want to apply in the list shown, and then click OK to apply the selected gradient. If you wish to create your own customized gradient, then instead click the Advanced Options button to expand the dialog box. To the right, you can create and customize your own gradients. You begin by creating a gradient by selecting a preset gradient from the list that's as similar as possible to the gradient you'd like to create. You could also use the drop-down below the Gradient Preview to select the name of a preset gradient to use. Or you can just click the arrow buttons to scan through the list of presets until you find one that you like. You can change the colors used in the displayed gradient by clicking the paint can button shown at either end of the gradient strip, and then selecting the desired color from the color cubes displayed. You can change the type of gradient pattern used by selecting either the linear, circular, or rectangular option buttons. You can then use the angle, horizontal offset, and vertical offset buttons to change the direction and angle of the gradient. When you've created the desired gradient, you can then click a button to save or dismiss your changes. Clicking the Save button saves your changes and overwrites the old preset gradient you had selected. You can click the Save As button to invoke the Enter the Gradient Preset Name dialog box, where you can type a new name for the gradient which you've created. And then just click OK to create and save a new preset gradient, which you can use in the future. You can rename a gradient that's preset by just clicking the Rename button and typing the new name into the Enter the Gradient Preset Name dialog box. You can click the Delete button to delete the selected preset gradient, and you can click the Duplicate button to create a duplicate copy of the current gradient. Once you've made any changes to the gradient, you can click OK to return to the Fill tab of the Formatting dialog box. You can apply a texture to a selected chart object by clicking the Texture button on the Fill tab in the Formatting dialog box. This opens the Choose a Texture to Apply to the Selected Areas dialog box. You can click on the name of a tab that contains the type of texture that you would like to use as the fill effect. You can then scroll through the list of available textures and click on the one you'd like to use. If you click the Advanced Options button, you can view the expanded dialog box where you can actually choose additional customization options for your texture by choosing the desired option buttons. The changes that you select can be seen in the preview box at the right side of the dialog box. When you've selected the desired texture and set any additional display options you'd like to apply, just click OK to return to the Formatting dialog box. If you would like to use a picture as the fill effect for the selected chart object, then click the Picture button in the Fill tab to open the Choose a Picture dialog box. You can select one of the pieces of Clipart displayed by simply clicking on it. If you wish to set any additional display options, you can once again click the Advanced Options button to expand the dialog box to the right. You can click the checkbox for Pictograph, Scale Picture to Grid Unit, to fit one entire picture within each major grid unit of the data series of a bar chart. You can then choose one of the selected display options for flipping the image from the 4 options shown. If you wish to browse for a piece of Clipart to use from your computer or network, you can click the Browse button to launch the open dialog box where you can navigate to the folder that contains the Clipart, and it has to have the .wmf extension that you wish to use in the report. You can then select it and click Open to return to the Choose a Picture dialog box. And you would just click OK when you're ready to return to the Fill tab of the Formatting dialog box. After you've selected your desired formatting options, you can simply click OK in the Formatting dialog box to apply it to the selected object.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.